What's going on, y'all? Thank you for checking in with Cali. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So there's going to be some moving pieces, I believe, with the Clippers. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in regards to interest and talks. You know, you've heard me speak about the Kevin Durant possibility coming there, which seems to be growing stronger day by day with the interest between the Clippers and the Phoenix Suns. Then you heard me speak about the Drew Holiday possibility of a trade, which I think that one is more likely to happen than even Kevin Durant, maybe even possibly Giannis. You heard me speak on that one too. But those would be the two moves I think the Clippers definitely would need to make. And from what I'm hearing, you know, based upon everything that's happening right now, the Clippers are looking at their roster and looking at the pieces that they have that, you know, are defensively inclined, which is Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, and then, you know, of course, well, you can add Norman Powell in there, even though he's more offensive, but they're actually looking at him, too, in regards to him being a moving part possibly to, you know, utilize in a trade. If they can utilize these three pieces and propose a trade and a deal with the Phoenix Suns, I think the Suns will go with the fact of Kevin Durant, you know, trade if he's willing to, you know, come to L.A. and play for the Clippers. And really, in regards to Drew Holiday, it wouldn't be much to get him because even though he is getting a little bit older, he still has value. But his contract with the Celtics is really not that big of a contract. It's not like a superstar contract. So they would find a way to be able to fit him in by maybe adding a future picks that they have, 2027, 2028, you know, picks, maybe along with, you know, you can add somebody else maybe off the bench and, you know, go at it that way. And I think the Celtics would definitely, you know, look into that because they're looking to add depth to their team more likely and, you know, get rid of some expiring contracts and, you know, be under the salary cap. So, you know, players like him definitely might be expendable. Now, another name I hear about that I haven't talked about as much or talked about at all, that's possibly a name for the Clippers to acquire too, is Derek White. Now, Derek White, either him or Drew Holiday is a really good pickup for the Clippers. I mean, personally, I would like both of them. I would take both of them, honestly. And if the Clippers were able to get both of them and wasn't able to get Kevin Durant, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that because you have defensive ability, you have championship, you know, quality players, and you got guys that can knock down big shots in big moments. Derek White is a huge shot maker at times. So is Drew Holiday, and both of them can play defense. You know, together their defense is hell amongst any team they're going against. And then you add Kawhi Leonard in there with, you know, Zubac in the paint. You know, they would be a really, really tough out for any team. Really, they'd be a really tough out for any team to play. So that would be depth, championship experience, and, you know, guys who would fit into a system very well. I think they would play for Ty Lue, and I think they would fit in with Ty Lue's system very well, and they would excel in the system because not only you have somebody who could bring the ball up in Drew Holiday, but he doesn't turn the ball over much. That takes more pressure off of James Harden. James Harden can play off the ball more, catch and shoot. So can Kawhi. Get Kawhi in his positions in his 17-foot range. Let him operate. Get double team. You got Derek White and you got Drew Holiday out there spotting up for threes. Most teams are not going to want to deal with that. So, I mean, that's going to be that would be a dream for the Clippers to get something like that if they were able to, even though it's going to be tough. But, I mean, those two defensive guys along, those 2 3-and-D guys right there would set the Clippers apart from any team pretty much in the NBA, if you ask me, with a healthy Kawhi Leonard and a James Harden. I mean, that would be really good for them. Because they would make up for the defense that they lost in DJ and Chris Dunn, but also they're getting back more offensively inclined, a better version, you know, of DJ and Chris Dunn because Derek White and Drew Holiday can actually score better, which would have helped the Clippers a lot in the Nuggets series if they had more scoring out of those two guys. But, I mean, it's hit or miss with them. So, I mean, in the scoring column. So, you know, you're making up for that with, you know, White and Holiday in so many ways. And plus you're getting championship experience. But I like the Kevin Durant trade too. If that does happen, I would like to at least get Kevin Durant in one of those pieces. If I had to choose between Drew Holiday and Derek White, I would definitely probably take Drew Holiday over Derek White, because the Clippers do need a point guard that they can depend on who doesn't turn the ball over. And, that would be Drew Holiday. He's good at that role. And like I said, he's secure in himself and how he plays, and he doesn't, he plays mistake free, as possible. And that's the type of point guard you want when you're trying to win. And it'll take more pressure off James Harden, as I said before, too. So, yeah, that would be great if the Clippers could find a way to pull this off. I mean, it's a long off season for the Clippers. They got a lot of decisions to make, but the Clippers got money. They got opportunities. They got those, they got assets. They got resources. They have to use their assets and resources to try to, pull some of these trades in, get some of these guys, in the building on the roster, because the new stadium they built, Kawhi played healthy this last playoffs. He just didn't have all the help he needed. He didn't have that second go-to guy. So find a way to get him that second go-to guy, and, get them maybe a third guy they can trust, because Norm Powell didn't show up the way he was supposed to in the playoffs. He wasn't that third guy that they can trust, to just go out there and give you 17 to 19. And if they had Drew Holiday or Derek White, they would have that in a playoff series. They would have that third guy they can trust. And you had somebody like Kevin Durant or Giannis, well, you definitely got, your first and 1A and 1B star between Kawhi and him, or whichever one comes to the team, between Giannis and Kevin Durant, if they was able to pull that off. So that would be perfect. And really, I guess, well, technically you could say the third guy would be James Harden at that time, but James Harden has those games where he doesn't show up. And I feel like Drew Holiday or somebody like that would be able to take over and make up for the points that he doesn't give and the defense that he doesn't give either. So, I mean, that's the reason why I said third guy as in one of those pieces, because you'd be able to count them more consistently than you can James Harden, especially in big games. So, yeah, I like it. I like the direction the Clippers are going, or what they're trying to seek out in regards to a trade. They just got to find a way to, just make it happen.